It's December 1st. No more softball games, only bangers from here on out. I wasn't originally planning to do December in this format. I wasn't originally planning to have all of the good games near the end, but I've put off recording so many of my favorite games for so long that it kind of had to be this way. Today we're playing Pikmin, one of the greatest games of all time. I really like Pikmin 1, and today we're going to play it. Um, but it feels a little bit surreal being in December, only having 31 videos left to record, and I have basically all of them planned out. So enjoy this ride for the last 31 days of Melon Keeper Gold, and we will see here how it goes. But currently, we have something way more important to pay attention to, which is that Captain Olimar has just crash landed, at the impact site. Oh no, what is going on? Oh no, it's the dolphin. My name is Captain Olimar. While traveling through space, my ship was struck by a meteor. I must have blacked out, and I awoke on the surface of a weird planet with so many parts lost. The skeletal hull of my beloved dolphin is a painful sight. The engine is gone. I'm stranded. To make matters worse, my atmospheric sensors indicate this planet's environment contains high levels of poisonous oxygen. My life support systems can function for only 30 days. If I can't repair the dolphin by then, no. Better not to think about it. I must find the missing ship parts. I really, really, really like the choice to make it. I really, really like the choice to make it only 30 days. I know a lot of people didn't like it, and I know a lot of people were happy that Pikmin 2 gave you unlimited days, but hear me out on this one. It really, really discourages you from playing the game in a way that they didn't want you to play it, because they want you to they want you to make progress every day. They don't want you to spend a bunch of time farming up a bunch of Pikmin and stuff like that. They don't want you to spend a bunch of time dilly-dallying around. They want you to save Olimar and get him off of this strange alien planet. And I like that the game basically forces you to do that. When I first played this game as a kid, I got all the way up to that let me just remember, the Switch controls are slightly different from the GameCube ones because you have full control of the camera with the right analog stick, which is kind of cool. But yeah, I remember playing the game as a kid and being like, oh, I don't, why are you not going? Go! Am I doing something wrong? He's supposed to attack. I remember taking many, many days to save Olimar, probably right up to the deadline. And I like the kind of timer that it enforces on you. I think it's healthy, healthy for the game. But yeah, no, this game is awesome. I played it as a kid on GameCube. I remember getting Luigi's Mansion and being like, oh, this is what the GameCube was for, and then playing Pikmin and being absolutely blown away by it because it has such personality and such charm. And I know that this is something that people say about absolutely every Nintendo game under the sun. They have charm, they have personality, but Pikmin is one of those kind of, it's silly, but it's got this kind of quiet beauty to it where we are such a small part of the world, and the world is like this the world is this like approximation of Earth. I mean, it's pretty well like accepted at this point that the Pikmin world is actually our world after some kind of apocalyptic disaster takes place, and it kind of makes you realize just the absolute scale of our planet, because here we are as Olimar, and we're looking at all of these things that are tiny compared to us. Look at these blades of grass. which absolutely tower over Olimar, Captain Olimar. It's really, to me, I find it really fun. I think the environments in this game are so pretty, partially because they are real, right? I'm not supposed to put them on top. I thought I was supposed to squash the box. I'm actually meant to push the box. Goes to show how much I remember this game. But yeah, when it came out on Switch, I was like, okay, I have a GameCube, I have a Wii, I also have Dolphin Emulator on my PC. Do I really need to buy Pikmin? And the answer I decided on was yes, I do need to buy Pikmin again, because it is very good, and I want to play it again. And my initial kind of justification for that was like, oh, I can play it on the go now. It's on Switch. I have never once played it on the go. I've only ever played it from the comfort of my house, which is kind of how Pikmin's meant to be played anyway, so I don't feel terrible about it. And it's kind of funny to me that I basically never play games handheld on my Switch or portably, but even as a console, even as a console and not even for the handheld qualities, it's so portable, right? You've got such a small form factor that makes it really easy to transport. This was something that was also true of the Wii, and significantly less so of the GameCube and such, because the GameCube's dimensions were just kind of awkward. The GameCube and the Wii probably have around the same volume, but the dimensions of the GameCube meant that it took up an awkward amount of space in both axes, or in every axis, I guess, not both, because it is a 3D object. But yeah, I like that I can take my Switch places and I can take my Wii places, even if I'm going to plug them in once I get there. You know, it does make them substantially more portable than a PS5, for example, which I still think is a lot bigger than it has to be. I don't know what's actually inside a PS5, but there's no way it needs to be that big, right? Like, let's just be realistic. But yeah, I always get kind of annoyed that, like, my PS5's never gonna leave my house. Like, it's way too big to take anywhere. I don't really trust it. I feel like it's a bit fragile to just chuck in a bag and bring somewhere, which truly is a shame, because I also would kind of love to be able to share my PS5 with people, with my friends, primarily because, oh, see, I knew there was one I was forgetting about. Primarily because, you know, it's nice to be able to, I can pick him up. Check this out. You can pick them up and then you can run at full speed. I love this feature. I love all of the features of this game, actually. It is a perfect game. Okay, there are flaws with Pikmin. There's not enough for me to even, like, care about. This is one of my it's probably the best GameCube game other than Melee. And that feels like a really big statement to make because the GameCube has such a strong library of games. But realistically, what would be the other game, right? What would be that other game? Is it Luigi Mansion? No, it's not Luigi Mansion. Is it Mario Sunshine? No, it's not Mario Sunshine. I don't like that game particularly. It feels like Pikmin has to be the one. And look at these environments. Look at them. They're so pretty. I love this game so much. I also really like Pikmin 2. Unfortunately, it's not as good. Pikmin 2 is a very fun game. It is probably 80% as good as this game, though. It's not as good. It doesn't quite live up. Again, very fun game, but it's certainly, like, I would consider this a near perfect game. Pikmin 2, the dungeon designs can be beyond frustrating, to the point where I haven't finished Pikmin 2 since I became an adult. I got a bit frustrated with some of the dungeons when I was playing the Switch version, and I was like, I actually don't need to do this. I've had my fun with the game. Like, I played through a decent chunk of Pikmin 2, and I was like, I've had my fun with the game. I don't need to beat it again. I don't need to beat it again to, like, truly enjoy it or anything like that. It's like, I've had my fun. I'm just gonna cash in here and stop playing. I think it's interesting that this area has a wall here, because I'm not convinced there's a good reason for it. It kind of does just waste your time a bit. It doesn't take that long, mind. But we're about to get to the combat, and yeah, we'll see how much of an expert I am at Pikmin combat. I have lost large swaths of Pikmin in encounters with the Bulborbs before, but hopefully we'll be okay there. Yeah, hopefully it'll be fine. Also, the music's so good. That's another thing that's, like, universal with Nintendo games, but it is at least, like... Pikmin music is unique amongst even the best Nintendo music, I would say, in that it is really... it's really chill. I don't know. Pikmin's such a relaxing game, but it's also such a... I don't know. It creates tense moments and it creates dramatic moments, because over the course of the game we get quite attached to these Pikmin. It's hard to play through all of Pikmin whilst only seeing the little guys as a resource. It's inevitable during any Pikmin playthrough that you'll become quite attached to them. As a group, yeah, not like on an individual basis, we don't get to know each Pikmin that well, but as a group, we become quite attached to them. At least I do, and so, it is, to me at least, a big part of the game is that for as relaxing as the average Pikmin day is, and most Pikmin days are quite relaxed, we don't tend to have huge losses or extremely tense moments on the average Pikmin day. It has this really nice kind of flow, I guess. It has this really nice I want to say frequency, where only occasionally do we actually have those dramatic moments, and they always emerge sort of organically, you know, because the most tense moments in Pikmin and the most dramatic moments in Pikmin are purely up to what happens in your playthrough. It's not like you know, it's not about story beats. The game does have a story, and it's a... I'm really struggling to... I mean, I did it. I'm not struggling too much. I was kind of struggling there with the fight mechanics. As I remember it, in the GameCube version, you could just hold towards them. But it seems like in this one, if I do it, they don't go anywhere. Like, he's just walking around me. Oh yeah, I forgot you can lie down and get picked up by the Pikmin. That's so cute. I don't know. I can't wait to play Pikmin 4. I still haven't played it. I didn't play Pikmin 3 either, because at the time when those games came out, it had been a while since I played Pikmin, and I was like, I don't know if I want to buy this. Because there's like other things I would rather do with my money, and I was a high school kid, so I didn't have a lot of money. In fact, I had quite a lot of not money, which is to say I didn't have any. So it's like, do I really want to spend my money on Pikmin 3 when I have the first two games here? And how different can it be? And a big thing for me was it doesn't even have Olimar. I don't want to, like, you know, dramatize something that doesn't need to be dramatized. But I like Olimar. I kind of want to, you know, follow him and follow his story. But I know the games are probably just as good gameplay-wise. But I like Olimar, and that was a big thing for me. Was it's a complete change of, like, person as well. But I'm sure those games are great. I do have a Wii U, so I might be playing Pikmin 3 at some point this month. It all comes down to logistics, because I don't actually own the game. So I would need to buy it, and or I guess I could maybe pirate it. I don't know how Wii U piracy works, but it can't be that hard. But also, for some reason, I doubt that Wii U games are particularly expensive, so I don't know. I don't know if we've got to the point in that product life cycle where the prices drop dramatically. Because usually what happens is they drop dramatically, then they start rising at some point. The average PS2 game is very, very cheap because the PS2 is the best-selling console of all time. But there are some PS2 games that have risen dramatically in price, sometimes because they're actually, like, good games, and mostly because they're very rare. I saw someone on TikTok talking about this game called Kuon. It's some game for PS2 that CEX was selling for £600. And apparently that's the value of Kuon. That's how much that game is worth. Which I find really interesting because it's not a game I've ever heard of. Usually expensive games, the Pokemon games are expensive, right? And there's multiple, there is a multitude of reasons for that. One of them is that they're extremely popular. The other is that you need, you can only have one save file per game. So it heavily encourages people to not share cartridges, right? Or I guess it discourages people from trying to share cartridges. Which is something you do when you have a DS and you have friends that have a DS, is you give each other your cartridges so you can play through the games. Listen, I'm not going to need the SpongeBob Draw My Life video, not video, the Doodle Bob game where you, like, draw a character and play through SpongeBob levels as a custom character. I'm not going to need that 365 days out of the year, so my friend could borrow it. You can't do that with Pokemon. You have to erase your save file if you want to start again, and that sucks. You don't want to do that with Pokemon. And they should allow you to have multiple save files, but they don't. And it's also, they're all DS games. They came out ages ago, and you know, there's various reasons that Pokemon games cost a lot. Sometimes games cost a lot just because they're rare, and I think Kuon is that type of game. Nobody wants it, probably. Like, it's probably not a good game, because games that you haven't heard of are usually not, because games that get recognition are usually good ones, or just, you know, games that are inexplicably popular, which do exist. There are so many games I would think are just bad or not good that get a lot of, like, praise and recognition. But that's kind of besides the point, because it's all subjective anyway. I do need to fight those Bulborbs, but I don't really want to. But it's fine. Just gotta navigate and then get them from the back. Perfect. That was pretty much painless. Let's go get some yellow Pikmin. Yellow Pikmin get thrown farther, can carry bombs, and are immune to electricity. The bomb thing always felt kind of weird to me, because each of the Pikmin in the original game, each of the Pikmin had, like, a different defining facial characteristic. In the case of the yellow Pikmin, it is their ears. In the case of the blue Pikmin, it is the mouth. And in the case of the red Pikmin, it is their long noses. So it's weird that yellow Pikmin can hold bombs, and that's their characteristic. You know, the red ones are kind of all-rounders that happen to be immune to fire. The blue ones can breathe underwater. But it is kind of weird to me, at least, that the defining characteristic of yellow ones is that they pick up bombs. it's kind of weird. You'd think the ones that pick up bombs would be ones with very big arms or something, like the purple Pikmin. But that is not the case. I'll just leave them planted, whatever. We can go get the yellow ones, and they can do the dirty work for me. But yeah, Pikmin, oh, look at them. They're like chilling out. Pick it up. Pick it up. So when I was playing Brawl as a kid, when I had friends around and we played Smash Brothers Brawl, I used to be an Olimar player because I really liked Pikmin. And then eventually I started playing Pit quite near the release of Smash 4. I started playing Pit because I really liked Kid Icarus Uprising. And then I realized that both of those characters are quite not liked. To be fair, just about every character in Smash 4 was not well liked. But it was kind of funny going from, oh, I'm going to play this character because I like their game, to, oh, actually people don't like fighting against that character. But honest to God, it makes sense, because Olimar is very irritating. Which I kind of don't like. There are some characters which I feel as though have a stronger association with Super Smash Bros. Than their original game. One such character would be Captain Falcon. Another such would be Jigglypuff, at least now. I think there was a time where Jigglypuff in the Pokemon anime was more relevant and more popular than her Smash depiction, but I don't think that's the case anymore. I think that, I definitely think that the Smash depiction of Jigglypuff is probably the most iconic now. I don't have enough yellow Pikmin. Sure, let's kill these things. I kind of like the subtle foreshadowing of having the blue pellet there. To be like, oh, you saw the yellow pellet before you found the yellow Pikmin. What about this blue pellet? Maybe there's blue Pikmin as well. And of course we know that no such thing exists. No, I'm joking. Obviously, blue Pikmin exist. We're just gonna chill out here. We're just gonna take a lie down as the day comes to the end, and and you get to see what happens when they try to put you in the onion. You get fireworks, I guess. It does make you wonder about the sort of what is it? Plantology. The for some reason I can't place it. Plantology is obviously wrong, but what is the word for, like, study of plants? I genuinely can't mind it. Yeah, it makes you wonder.